rest of it. I'm so excited.
Hello and welcome into another hour-long episode of College Crossfire. I'm your host, Jeff Barker. Tonight is our special alumni episode. First up, we'll have 3 TSTV alumni, and then in the second round, we'll have 3 former College Crossfire hosts themselves. So let's get started by introducing our first panel of the night. To my immediate right, we have Becca Rushworth, Jason Remert, and Yumi Park. So, guys, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing since your time at TSTV?
Well, I am working at the Longhorn Network, this camera. I'm doing the mobile app stuff and also working with Texas Game Day.
I spent a year in Texarkana. I was a sports talk show host for ESPN affiliate up there. Did that for a year. Now I'm back here in Austin working for AM 1300 The Zone.
Cool.
And I spent the summer in LA working on a few shorts, or actually an indie feature, and then now I'm back for the year. So right now I'm partly employed by American Eagle and full-time employed by my bed.
I can attest to that. She's my roommate.
All right, guys, well, let's begin with something every Longhorn can get excited about. On Saturday afternoon in Dallas, the Texas Longhorns finally got the monkey off their back and defeated their rival, the Oklahoma Sooners, 36-20 to bring the Golden Hat back to the 40 acres. The Longhorns controlled the game from start to finish and dominated in almost every aspect. But what impressed you guys the most about the Longhorns' win over OU? And is the performance sustainable for the rest of the season, or was it just a fluke? Becca, we'll start with you.
Well, I have 3 things that really excited me about it. It was defense, but I'm pretty sure they're going to tell you about that. The special teams, which Anthony Fair, where were you against West Virginia last year? Come on.
Injured.
Exactly.
Partially injured.
No, he played.
Good
He
point,
played.
Jeff.
He played through it, but he wasn't.
I know, but he missed that kick. Anyway, and Deshae Johnson, special teams gives the Texas fans something to be excited about. And third is the Texas fans. I asked them, my wish on Facebook before was just Texas fans stay till the 4th quarter. I thought Texas was going to lose, and they stayed till the 4th quarter, but Texas won. So that being said, Texas fans, way to stay there, way to be there, way to buy tickets. But you know, it's easy to be a fan when the going is good. So being a fan is like a marriage, for better or worse, man.
All right.
Oh, and no, it's not.
That was deep, Becca.
It's not sustainable.
We're getting
I think
deep
it's a fluke.
tonight.
All right, Jason,
I like
what do you
this.
got?
I think whether or not we're going to find out if it's sustainable is going to depend on the schedule. We still have Oklahoma State, teams like Baylor's lighting it up. But what I thought from the game, I was very, very impressed with Texas's ability yards after catch against OU, because that's what OU's offense is all about. It's about these short routes. It's about missing one tackle and getting up the field. 4 games in, you're really seeing Greg Robinson's stamp on this program. I mean, for a while, Texas could not even, tackle air or statue if they had, a 5-yard advantage. But with Greg Robinson, you're seeing the secondary fly around. You're seeing a lot of tackles. And I was also really impressed with Texas's third down efficiency, 13 of 20 as opposed to 2 for 13 for OU. Really impressed by that. Is it sustainable? We'll see. Still some tough teams on the schedule.
Okay. Yumi, what do you got?
Well, I feel like I agree with Jason. Their defense looked a lot better. You can definitely see their improvement. The linemen looked like they knew their assignments this time. They filled the gaps they were supposed to. They stopped the QB from running as much as they've allowed in the past. But also, I was very impressed that Major stayed with the run game on offense. He didn't just have one run and then try to throw it. He went 3-4 downs a piece and try to keep the run going, which the offense has had a really tough time choosing. Are they going to be a passing team? Are they going to be a running team? And this time he really picked one, and they stuck with the plan, and it looked like a better team. And honestly, my favorite play of that game was Chris Whaley with that ridiculous interception and him running his big self into that end zone. He looked phenomenal, and I think that really helped keep the fans excited, which is also a very helpful thing for a football team, especially Texas.
All right, well, all good points here. Yumi, I like the point you made about Major sticking with the run. I think that was really important. So Yumi's going to get the point to start us out here.
The last and only point
from a Texas college team to the Texas NFL team, the struggles continued this weekend for the Houston Texans, who lost 38-13 to the St. Louis Rams. Texans quarterbacks have thrown at least one pick six in each of the last 5 games. The Texans are still only 2 games out of the division lead in the AFC South, but something needs to be done about the quarterback situation in Houston. So should Texans sign a free agent quarterback to replace Schaub, and would say maybe a one Vince Young be a potential option? Jason, we'll start with you on this one.
Well, I mean, if you look at signing a potential free agent quarterback, I mean, what are your options? Matt Leinart and Byron Leftwich? I don't think so. And
Hey, there's Tim Tebow.
with he's in Hawaii.
He's too busy Tebowing on the beach.
Anyway.
But, I mean, when you look at this quarterback situation, I think this gets fixed in-house. Maybe Case Keenum, he looked really good in the preseason. I know it's just the preseason, but I liked how he commanded the offense. I liked how he moved around a little bit. But with Vince Young, the only thing he would have in common with the Houston Texans is the fact that he has thrown more picks than touchdowns in his NFL career. I just wish we could – I honestly wish we could put to bed this idea that Vince Young is just – we know what he is as a quarterback. He was one of the best quarterbacks in college football history. He is not a very good NFL quarterback. He does not fit the Houston Texans scheme. He's 30, 31. So part of what he did, part of what made him so special is going by the wayside. So I don't think he would be the solution at all for Houston.
Well, you don't even think he could be a third-string quarterback in the NFL at this time?
He got dropped 2 times for that.
Well, 32 NFL GMs don't think he can.
All right. Yumi?
Well, I think if the Houston Texans were to try and pick up a free agent at this point, that's them giving up completely on the season, because to bring in somebody that wasn't in camp with them, that wasn't in workouts with them, that just means, you know what, this season's done. We're just going to bring somebody in, sell some tickets, and that's Vince Young. Vince Young will sell tickets. He's a hometown boy. We obviously love him for being a Texas national championship winning quarterback, but I think they should probably look at Case Keenum and see if he can get another snap in, because if your first 2 aren't working out, you have a third-string quarterback for a reason. Why not use him? He was good in college. You should probably give him the opportunity. And if you stay with Keenum or you try to fix something within the team, that's telling your fans, we're not giving up on the season. We're trying to find a solution. And honestly, at this point, if both your QBs aren't working right now, maybe it's not a quarterback problem. Maybe it's a QB or a coaching problem or something else in the team. So I think it's just a cop-out and an easy solution to go with a free agent quarterback at this time.
Okay, so you think maybe Coach Gary Kubiak on the hot seat?
I think he just needs to step up his game and find a new strategy if it's not working out right now.
All right, all good points so far. Becca, what do you got?
I have to agree. I think you need to stick with the quarterbacks that you have. You have backups for a reason. And I think TJ Yates and Case Keenum are fine. Yes, TJ threw 2 interceptions at the last one, but you have hometown hero Case Keenum. Great job at University of Houston, and everyone like Houston-centric. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good deal. But I have to go on a sidetrack really quick, and shame on you, Texans fans. You do not boo when your quarterback gets injured. In the words of Terrell Owens, that is my quarterback.
That's my quarterback.
Thank you.
That ain't right.
But yeah, Texan fans, if you didn't make such a hostile home field advantage, maybe, I don't know, maybe your quarterback wouldn't have thrown a pick 6.
Okay, well, I'm going to give everybody a point here. Everybody said fix it in-house. Nobody went for the Vince Young option. So now we're going to move on to some MLB, and we're not the only ones that are busy right now. Game 4 of the ALCS is taking place as we speak, and the Boston Red Sox lead the overall series 2-1 over the Detroit Tigers, but the Tigers lead 7-0 right now in the 5th inning. So who do you guys see taking this series and moving on to the World Series? Yumi, we'll start with you at the end.
Oh, God, wait. What is the series at right now again?
2-1 Boston. But the Tigers are looking like they're going to take Game 4 and tie it up.
Before this game started, I really wanted to say Boston because they have the momentum going in. And we all know in sports, when you're in a series, momentum. When you have momentum, you don't want to lose it because that's how you're going to win. Because at this point, they're dropping the ball. I'm a little disappointed in how Boston's doing. Detroit does have Verlander, and I don't think if they lose this one, which it looks like they will be, I don't think they're going to be able to come back from it because Detroit's a little unstoppable at this point.
Okay.
Right. I do think Boston will take the series despite this game. The reason I think Boston is going to take the series is because the Boston Marathon bombing. You have to go with those teams that have experienced such a tragedy. If you think about it with So Stanley Cup, not so great, but you had the Blackhawks and you had the Bruins, and the Bruins lost, but they were there. They were at the championship. But then in 2013, also you had the Women's World College Series, and that was softball. OU won after the Moore devastation, the tornado, and then in 2011 you had Women's World Cup soccer, and that was Japan against USA. And it's one of those losses that you have to be okay with because Japan had the earthquake and tsunami. So you have to be okay with that. But also, another shame on you, Detroit fans, for this tweet. I don't know if you preloaded it. I don't think so. But she does. Okay, so it's going to pop. Detroit fans want something bad to happen to Detroit so the nation can get behind it. You do not do that. You don't do that. And guess what? You already had a natural disaster. It was 2008 in the car issue.
Oh, God.
And you have Eminem.
You
have Eminem and Clint
Hey,
Eastwood
taking
trying to
shots.
get you back.
Taking shots. All right.
The only problem with your argument is, like, I understand that it happens, but it's like saying, like, Detroit, you might as well just lose because we feel bad for Boston. It should be Boston should win if they're good enough, not because they have to the Boston Marathon after. Like,
All right.
Well, that's not my point.
Jason, we're gonna give you a chance here. Sorry about that.
No worries. I think Boston's going to win because when you look at the numbers in this series, this series makes no sense right now. Boston should not be up 2-1. They're hitting 133 as a team. That's the lowest in postseason history. 3 for 15 with runners in scoring position. Scherzer, Sanchez, and Verlander have struck out a combined 35 batters, yet Boston is still up. So I think the fact that they survived Verlander and Scherzer once gives them a lot of confidence going to the second time in Game 6. All they need to get is Game 5, and then you are back-loaded with your aces, Boston is, to face Verlander and Scherzer in Fenway.
All right, well, we're taking a break, but I think I'm going to give Jason the point on that one. So coming up next is our first rapid-fire segment of the night. Every question worth double the points, and only one of these three will move on. Stay tuned. It's College Crossfire. Welcome back to College Crossfire. Before we continue, let's get a quick score update. To my right, Becca has 1, Jason with 2, and Yumi with 2. But you know it's rapid fire, anything can happen. So for the first rapid fire, we're going to take a trip down memory lane. So, all right, panelists.
Oh, God.
It's Throwback Thursday on Wednesday.
Okay.
We want to hear from you. What's your best memory at TSTV?
Well, let's see. I created the set.
Okay.
All right.
I created the set. I created the logo. I created the intro. But my favorite memory of TSTV is as a freshman going to the national championship when Texas was good. But it just really proves that if you put the work in, that you're gonna get what you put in out of it. So if Texas was better, I would implore all of you over here to, well, still, no matter what, just put in the most effort that you have here because it's really gonna help whenever the time comes.
Words of wisdom. Jason, you got anything?
I think it was just sitting here in College Crossfire last year and just meeting all the different people and facing off with my boy Derek Lewis. Bless his heart, he really wanted that trophy. But
You took it from him.
I was
Buffalo Bills
able
of
to,
College Crossfire.
I was able to take it from him. Yes, he goes 0-4, but he really wanted that. But it was just, there's a lot of different experiences. It's hard to pinpoint one, but that's the first one off my head.
Okay. Yumi, what do you have?
I would have to say it's kind of similar to what Becca went through her freshman year. I'm a huge basketball fan, especially women's college basketball. So my freshman year in March, I got to cover the first round of the women's NCAA, tournament. First round because we were hosting, or Texas was hosting it. I got to cover an NCAA game. That's ridiculous for a freshman to say. I was on the sideline. I was drinking from the press box. That's pretty cool stuff. Not a lot of kids get that opportunity. I was drinking Powerade. Thank you very much.
Spiked Powerade?
No. But just that opportunity. I've covered so many awesome, huge games for this station. It's ridiculous. And then overall, being the recruiter last year, I got to recruit a lot of new people, and I recruited the 2 people off screen, showing their butts to me. So just bringing the new generations and seeing them do awesome jobs now, that's even more amazing. They're creating memories for themselves, and I think that's the best part.
Well, all great memories right there, guys. I think Becca's gonna get the point on this one.
They lost!
But she created the set, the logo, the intro video.
Chicken
Is that
wire.
two? Is that two?
That is 2 points. So you're actually in the lead now.
3. Miley Cyrus, man.
Well, all right. Well, still 2 more questions. So, guys, Alfred Morris is a man that understands the importance of humble beginnings. Despite his success in the NFL, Morris has continued driving his 1991 Mazda 626, which he calls a Bentley. A few months ago, Mazda offered to refurbish the car, and Morris agreed. The job took 275 hours of labor and involved the addition of 450 new parts. But the appearance of the car looks exactly the same from the outside, which is exactly what Morris wanted. So, guys, think about your first car for a second here, and if someone offered to pimp your ride, what would you add to it? Jason, anybody jump in? What is your first car?
It was a Ford F-150, a red one. Probably some shag carpeting.
Okay.
Maybe,
All right.
you know, a nice system. Things like that. But I just want some weight in the back because. No, because when you turn in a light truck like that, you're gonna hydroplane all the time. So some kind of weight in the back would have been nice for like $500.
Okay. Shag carpet and a little bit of weight in the back. All right. Yumi?
My first car was my dad's 96 Isuzu Trooper, and I love that car. I called it Trip the Trooper because it went through a lot. And the only thing I'm kind of with Morris on this, like, it's your first car. Like, everything you went through and the crap if it was crap, mine was crap. It broke down on the highway a couple of times. It was dangerous.
So what would you add to it?
I would probably just make sure the engine worked better than it had, but my brother got it stolen after he totaled it in high school. But
So it's not quite possible.
Terrible story.
yeah, so not quite possible.
I mean, she had
But
it in
the
your car.
only thing I would, besides the engine that I would add to it, would be like vomit-resistant seating in the back, because the night of prom, my friend puked in it, and I was so pissed. I was so upset. But all the guys that were at the party felt so bad for me. They cleaned it, Febreze the crap out of it, and like it was brand new. She offered to clean it and stuff. But dude, you never think about that. But she passed out and puked on my car.
All right. Well, Becca, you got anything not puke related?
I still drive my first car.
She does.
Okay.
And it is definitely a first car because just last week, oh my gosh, what was it? Condenser exploded in a technician's face.
That's a
So
problem.
all this Freon just goes everywhere, and there's this loud boom at the shop. And I'm just like, please don't
stunned.
sue me that my car exploded in your face. And then like $1,400 later, I'm on the road to OU to the
Yeah.
Dallas weekend. So my car,
Her car's been through a lot.
my car sucks, but I love it. If I were to pimp it, I would have wood trim on the sides because I really like wood trim, and I would not trade it because it's a Jeep Cherokee 2001. So I can see, like, there's no blind spots. I can see all I want, but yeah.
Well, Jason's getting the 2 points here for the shag
My
carpet.
car exploded!
The shag carpet had a little bit of weight in the back. Come on.
In the 70s, like, come
My
on,
car
dude.
exploded!
You know?
Jason is going to take the 2 points. He's going to have the lead going into the last question.
Not
So,
okay,
guys,
man.
last week, selections
okay.
committee for the first ever college football playoff was revealed. One of the more surprising names on the committee is former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice. Many people are worried that Rice does not have the credibility to be a part of the committee, and former Auburn head coach Pat Dye spoke out and said, quote, all she knows about football is what somebody told her, what she read in a book, or what she saw on television. So, do you guys think she's qualified to have a spot on this selections committee?
I am
Yes.
so pissed off right now.
right, jump in,
so
you.
pissed
Jump
off
in.
right now. How sexist does this have to be? First off, 2 women on this panel right now. Second off, the director of the show is also a female. So for anybody this day and age to be saying Condoleezza Rice, Stanford graduate, helped run this country for God knows how many years, is not qualified because she's a female.
I don't think he's necessarily saying that it's because she's a female.
Sounds like it, though.
I think he's just saying that it's maybe because she doesn't really have a background in football.
Well, so what?
She-
That's like, to me, it sounds like it's because she's a female. I can understand if he's saying it's from her background is mostly in politics, but like, so does every other guy that doesn't play football or coach football. They don't have any business being on either unless they watch it. And you know what? If she watches it, why not? It's like when ESPN asked Obama to fill out his freaking chart his bracket every year. Like, It's just for the heck of it. Like, it's another perspective. Don't be such a sexist. I'm gonna smack this dude.
Okay.
Well,
Becca?
I think she's perfect for it. I don't know why you would be questioning it. She does Stanford basketball. She did graduate from Stanford, but
But
she's
it's a
also.
football. It's like,
I know. She knows about politics. She knows how to run it. She's like
okay.
the Mac
Football is
Brown.
politics.
Like Mac Brown's a CEO and a politician, not a coach. That's what Condoleezza is. She's not a coach. She's a politician. She knows how to make it work.
Okay. Jason?
Well, it's not. I don't think it's so much that people have a problem with her being a woman. I think people have a problem, like you alluded to, that she has no background in football, which is fine. I mean, you can still be effective, and you can still have a very a good opinion on football. I think what the committee is trying to do is show just how objective they're trying to be. I think that's what they're doing with Condoleezza Rice. With people having a problem with this, I don't know. I think that'll all be resolved at the end once people realize that she actually is good at her job. And that's what I think it is. I think it's just objectivity, because you have athletic directors from the SEC, from the Big 12, from all this stuff, and why not just throw a little kink in there? I think that's all they were trying to do.
Okay. Well, I think Jason's going to get the points here. Annie's going to take the win. So
I just want my extra point for my USA.
That's going to
hat
wrap
at this
things
point.
up for our first
Where's
round
my
of
extra point
panelists.
for this
Jason
hat?
will be moving on to the championship round. Coming up next, we'll introduce our second panel for the night, and you may recognize a few of them. Stay tuned. Thanks for sticking with us tonight on College Crossfire. Let's get started by introducing our second group of panelists for the night. They are all former College Crossfire hosts themselves. To my immediate right, we have Craig Rupp, Garrett Green, and then last but not least, Tyler Denning. So guys, before we get started, like we did with the last panelist, tell us a little about what you guys have been up to since your time at TSTV.
You know, I've been sampling in the adult entertainment industry.
All right.
No, currently I'm employed at Facebook, so just enjoying my time, still staying
Which
in
is
Austin.
quasi-adult entertainment.
Which is quasi-adult entertainment. So
Have you gotten to meet Mark?
Mark's out in Menlo Park. Have not been able to meet Mark yet.
Okay. Garrett?
All right. I've just been here in Austin doing nighttime and weekend stuff up at ESPN Radio and doing high school sports play-by-play.
Cool. Tyler?
Doing some work for Longhorn Network. I broadcast the Texas volleyball, defending national champions on the radio. Definitely have a chance at defending this national championship. And I actually did my first college football game for ESPN last month. So, just trying to come up in the world.
Awesome.
On the come up.
Alrighty, well, as we discussed in the first round, Texas fans got what they wanted this weekend. Although the Longhorns played one of their best games of the year, there's always room for improvement. So, guys, what do you think Texas needs to work on the most after their win over the Sooners? Craig?
Okay, I'll start off. Right now, Texas is 9th in the Big 12 in red zone defense, which that means they're second to last, so they really need to work on their red zone defense. I think with 25 possessions, teams have scored 14 touchdowns and 8 field goals. That's 22 out of 25. That's not going to cut it, so Texas's red zone defense needs to improve the most. Also, I think we need to improve our mid-range passing game. As you see, we have a vertical game and we have a running game, but we don't have an in-between game with the throwing, so I think we need to find a nice little balance with there just to keep the team or the defense kind of off balance.
Okay, so maybe Texas needs to have a possession receiver emerge from the group? Or?
Maybe David Ash can come back. In case McCoy can't be our quarterback, because he missed about 3 or 4 throws that would have been probably touchdowns.
No,
Yeah.
would have definitely been
So,
touchdowns.
Definitely missed at least 2 touchdowns. All right, Garrett?
And, it's interesting you point that out, Craig. I think that the biggest thing that Texas needs to do, though, is work on finishing games. This is a team that they had a definitive lead against K-State at the half, and then Case McCoy comes in, and they let it slip away. They almost let the game get away at the end. They let an Iowa State team that had no business playing with them on the same field take them all the way down to the end. And then versus OU, even with about 9-8 minutes left to go in the game, I was still ripping my hair out a little bit because they were making things,
Difficult for themselves.
it wasn't close enough, but they were still letting them get back in it. So I think that they need to work on having that killer mentality. Keep your foot on the pedal, finish the game, don't give your opponent any opportunity to get back in it.
Okay.
I think, alluding to what Craig said, it has to be consistency within the passing game. With Case McCoy, you have a drop-off of nearly 3 yards per attempt from David Ash. So the biggest thing that you get in transitioning from McCoy to Ash is that loss of a passing threat. Texas has proven that they can run the ball. They did so last week. They had 2 rushers over 100 yards for the first time against Oklahoma. But now what teams are going to start to do is stack the box. You're going to see 7, 8 defenders in the box to stop Jonathan Gray and Malcolm. So you have to have a consistent passing game. But the good thing that the coaching staff did, you saw against Oklahoma, is they put Case McCoy in chances where he could make the good play. He could make positive plays, and they put him in opportunities to succeed, and that's why you saw the long touchdowns. But if you can get consistency in those receivers on the outside, Mike Davis can win his individual matchup, Kendall Sanders can win his individual matchup, and Shipley can be that possession receiver. If Texas can come through consistently in that passing game, they're going to have a great chance to win this conference.
Okay, so real quick before we move on, Texas' chances to win the Big 12?
They're great. Obviously Baylor's going to be a tough game. Oklahoma State coming here, that's going to be another tough game. But 3-0 in the Big 12. There was 1-2. We're 4-2 now. Not we. Texas is 4-2 now. So the sky's not falling, and Mac Brown is proving his worth right now.
Okay.
If they play like they did on Saturday, if they play motivated, they can hang with any team in the Big 12 right now, including Baylor, who's I know scoring points like nobody's business, but they can hang with them if they play like they did on Saturday.
Okay.
Texas is absolutely in the catbird seat. You see that the Big 12 title has gone through either Dallas, Texas, in the Cotton Bowl, so you've already beaten Oklahoma. Texas got the other big monkey off their back, and they beat Kansas State. And the other team, the defending Big 12 champion, Oklahoma State, that's a team that you get down here in Austin. So absolutely, you're in the driver's seat. Go out there and win the conference.
Okay, well, all good points here. Hate to do this again, but tough to decide. Everybody's going to get a point to start this one off. Moving on to the MLB. This time in the NL, the Dodgers took the first step in digging themselves out of a 3-1 deficit with a win today. Few teams have come back from such a deficit, but it has been done before. So, panelists, with the series record now at 3-2, do the Dodgers have any chance of winning 2 straight games in St. Louis to advance to the World Series? Garrett, we'll start with you.
Well, the key thing you said there is winning 2 straight games in St. Louis, and that is a tall order. It's one of the best home environments in all of professional baseball. It is one of the baseball towns that you can call it, and they're very fortunate. They have Clayton Kershaw going on the mound in Game 6. That's really going to help. I think that you're going to see him do the same thing that you saw Justin Verlander do in Game 5 of the ALDS versus Oakland. You're going to see him go out and pitch a gem for the ages. But then it's Game 7, and you got Adam Wainwright you're going to have to go up against. They look good today, the Dodgers did, with their bats. They hit a couple of long balls out of the park. I really like what they did, but it's all going to come down to Game 7, in my opinion, versus Wainwright. However, look out for Waka, the kid out of Texas A&M. He's looked really good in big situations so far this postseason.
Okay, but it looks like you're saying the Dodgers definitely get the win behind Kershaw.
I think they get the win versus Kershaw, but all bets are off versus Adam Wainwright at home in Game 7.
Okay, Tyler?
Well, the question was, do they have a chance? I think absolutely they have a chance. The bats finally reawakened in this game that they played today. They finally hit the long ball. Adrian Gonzalez is reinvigorated. Yasiel Puig is playing very well. So absolutely, the Dodgers can go into St. Louis and win a game. And like Garrett just said, all bets are off in a Game 7. You have no idea who's going to come out, and starting pitching can be a toss-up in a Game 7. So do they have a chance? They had to win today. They did win today. They can go back. The bats are reinvigorated. Absolutely, the Dodgers can win.
Okay.
My logic with baseball is not the most sound.
Why do they play it?
But I'm pretty sure in St. Louis they have a lot of Budweiser. It's named like Busch Stadium.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure St. Louis is going to win the series based on the promotionals and the advertisements you can run in the World Series. Because, a lot of people drink Budweiser at baseball games. At least that's what I think they do in St. Louis. So, you know what? I'm not going to give the Dodgers a chance. I don't think they can go into St. Louis and win 2 games. St. Louis has been there in the past. If they win a World Series, are they a dynasty in baseball? I'm not keeping track of World Series, but I think they've won more than other teams like the Rangers have lately. So I'm going to give St. Louis
Audience
edge here, even without Tony La Russa.
I do want to
I'm
point
going to give
out
it to the Cardinals.
they were in a 3-1 driver's seat last season versus the San Francisco Giants and didn't make it to the World Series. They lost out in 7 games.
Okay, Garrett, I like that point you made. Tyler, I like the point you made too. I think these two are going to take the point here. And we're moving on to the NBA. The regular season kicks off on October 29th, and the Los Angeles Lakers will most likely be without their star Kobe Bryant, who was recovering from a torn Achilles tendon. Bryant made a statement on Monday when he said he could probably play today if it were the playoffs. So based on the severity of Bryant's injury and considering his age, can he get back to playing at the same level he was playing at last year? And how do you guys think he'll fare this year? Tyler?
Only one player in NBA history has bounced back from an Achilles injury to have an all-star appearance. Dominique Wilkins did it twice. Now, is Kobe Bryant a better player than Dominique Wilkins? Absolutely, and he has proved time and time again that he will disprove all the doubters, and there's not a more driven athlete in professional sports outside of Michael Jordan than Kobe Bryant. The guy's rehabbing faster. Absolutely, Kobe Bryant can bounce back and have maybe an equal season, not as good as he did last year. He'll definitely lose a step, but he can bounce back. The thing that will hold him back is that the Lakers don't have the pieces to help him out, and he will be exposed. He'll have to do more defensively. But the thing with Kobe Bryant, he's a smart player. He'll be able to bounce back and compete at a high level.
Okay, Craig?
I am a really big Lakers fan. Just to preface it with
As
that,
am
I think Kobe probably will be back about 2 weeks into the season, so we're talking about mid-November. And if you actually look at the offense, the way that he operated best with when Pau Gasol was at center, and with Dwight Howard and Andrew Bynum now both out of the picture, I think the Lakers are actually going to look a lot better offensively. So I think he can put up similar numbers, if not better numbers this year. And Steve Nash should be in the game more, so he should have to handle the ball less. Granted, Steve Nash is 49 or 37, something along those lines. But I think Kobe can absolutely come back and play even at an MVP level in the top 5 players in the league, which he's obviously still capable of, in my opinion. But like Tyler said, I think where Kobe's age and maybe his weathering down might be is on the defensive side of the ball, because he doesn't have the legs that he used to have. So we'll see, but Kobe can absolutely come back at the same level, but to what avail? I mean, the Lakers maybe at best can get a 6 or 7 seed, and then they can maybe make it to the second round. And that's me being an optimistic Lakers fan. But the question with Kobe is not the question. It's the question with the Lakers and what they're trying to do for next year with the cap space.
Okay, so it seems like both of you guys think it's more about the team. Just not, I mean, Kobe just not having a team around him.
I think Kobe will play within himself. He just doesn't have the pieces around him. I mean, if it's
Or he'll go for
ultimately-
the scoring title.
Which, if you were to ask Kobe, it would be to compete for a championship. Can they do that with this ensemble? Absolutely not.
Okay, and Garrett?
Yeah, it's the fact that he's surrounded by great talent, but it was great, 5 to 7 years ago if you would have
Sure.
put this team together. So, Kobe's always been one who's been big into trying different kinds of ways to rehab. He went over to Europe to have another experimental kind of surgery to have on his knee or something like that, I think. So he's coming back from the Achilles injury. I think that just Kobe's will alone is enough to get him back to a high level, and he's just the ultimate competitor. I think he'll be able to sustain the same kind of productivity that he had last year when he comes back, but I think he probably only has 1 or 2 more years. Now, granted, we said that 2 years ago
Sure.
that we thought Kobe only had 1 good year. But, I think he can come back, probably not going to average 29 points, maybe knock it down to like 25 or something like that. But, I think he can come back and compete still at a high level.
Okay, so, I mean, real quick, coming back from injury, where do you guys think he ranks? I know recent power rankings that came out today had him at 25. So, I mean, for what it's worth, where do you guys think he's at?
Kobe Bryant's willpower alone will put him up into the top 10, because if he can't get there, he will find a way to get there. He's a smart player. He will get to the right spots on the court, and he'll find a way to will himself, just like he has done throughout his rehab. Kobe Bryant will find a way. You consistently doubt this guy, and you feed the fire that's just fuels to the flames that burns Kobe Bryant to be in the gym day in and day out. And I think absolutely he's a top 10 player still in this league.
All right, what do you guys think?
I'd have him at 7 or 8, somewhere in that range.
Okay.
I can name about 4 players maybe potentially better than Kobe. LeBron, Kevin.
Don't start this. You're going to name more
And
than
I may be
4.
saying Chris, but I can't.
Melo, CP3.
Derrick Rose, no. CP3 potentially, but not Dwight Howard. So I put Kobe.
not Dwight Howard.
Kobe playing at the best can be a top 3 player in this league still.
All righty, well, everybody's going to get a point there. Again, we're going to take it close game going into rapid fire. Coming up next, we'll crown a winner between these 3. It's College Crossfire. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Before we get into some rapid fire questions, let's get a quick score update. To my right, we have Craig with 2, and Garrett and Tyler sitting atop the lead with 3. So, guys, let's take one more trip down memory lane. As we did with the first panel, we want to hear your favorite memory from your time at TSTV.
I enjoyed my time at KVRX. I obviously enjoyed my time also hosting and doing College Press Box. I think one of my better memories is actually off camera and offset is when we had a kickball and softball competition, because we actually got to see the athletic prowess of the people that get to work at TSTV.
The lack thereof.
And you know what? We lost to News, and it still hurts. When I was we lost to News in a softball game.
We lost to KVR
We lost to KVRX.
in softball.
They were here before you guys, though. So
We lost in softball.
We lost in softball.
KVRX.
But
Blame Ashley Park. Yeah.
it was just interesting to see, how much people enjoyed sports and how good they were at performing sports.
Now Nathan Parse.
I enjoyed that.
Parse. Swing and a miss.
Okay, well, our producer Bailey is telling us that sports has never lost to news in kickball.
Yeah, they have,
So-
no, it was to KVRX.
Okay, it was
Yeah, we did beat news in kickball, but it was to KVRX in softball, and it
Which
was
is even worse.
It was Ashley Park's fault.
It was.
Tyler, you are exactly correct. Garrett, you got a memory before we move on?
You know, I really loved hosting Crossfire every single Wednesday whenever we had it, but one of my favorite memories I have that sticks out in my head is whenever the NBA postseason was going on a couple of years ago, and I don't know if it's a promo that we still run here at TSTV, but we were all hanging out at Master Control, huddled over the small TV that we have, and we were watching the Spurs game right whenever it came down to the end, and it was whenever Manu hit that crazy turnaround three-pointer. Now,
Spurs lost.
Spurs
Yeah,
still
Spurs
lost.
still lost the
Spurs
series.
still lost the series, but
True.
the whole. I mean, there were plenty of people who were San Antonian fans, and so they
San
went.
Antonians.
Yeah, San Antonianites.
San Antonians.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun to be in a room of people who were that passionate about sports, and just getting to have a good time with them offset.
No, Spurs.
Tyler,
No.
what do you got?
I mean, I think for me, it was just the dredges of, being in the editing room and you're cutting tape, or you're in here making a rundown, or, coming here in the morning and having to do things on Sunday night. You have to be here prepping for
on
press
Sunday
box
night?
because, those are the things that go into this. Everybody wants to just sit down and be in front of a camera, or sit down and, be at the national championship. And now the best memory is to look at all the people that I've worked with across the years and all the hard work that they put in and use TSTV as a springboard to get to that next level. But that's where it starts. So the things that you're doing now, like you're doing hosting, the people behind the cameras, the people that are back directing and whatnot, you can use those things to go on and do greater things other than TSTV, but it all started here, started from the bottom.
Meet you at the crossroads. Meet you at the crossroads. We won't be lonely.
All right, well, all good memories there, guys, but Tyler had the history right with the kickball tournament, so he's going to get those 2 points here. And our second rapid-fire question is going to come in the form of a caption this. Take a look, guys. So, caption this, guys. 2 points, go to the best caption. I mean, what is Max saying to Stoops here?
You ate that butt tit tack.
Hey Bob, you remember whenever you used to have that nickname, Big Game Bob? That was funny.
All right.
I just farted, right? I mean, I couldn't say what what I think and what we all thought Mac Brown and the team was going to go out and do, which would have been why Mac Brown farted. But you get what I'm going towards. But they didn't.
All right, well, Craig's going to get the 2 right there. I think he had the best one coming out strong right away. I can't even repeat it, but it was really good. got a good audience reaction, so he's going to take the 2 points.
Nice.
All right, guys. Well, in addition to Kobe's bold comments about being able to play if the playoffs were today, which we discussed earlier in the show, he also made an appearance on the cover of the most recent Sports Illustrated edition. The magazine described him as, quote, the last alpha dog. So I want to know, if you guys were featured on the cover of SI, how would they describe you, and what would your pose be for the cover photo?
Do we get to stand up?
Yeah, sure.
Of course.
Stand up.
Oh,
Do it.
Christ. What would my stance be? I kind of went first last time, but I don't know. Be something. Something about here, and it would be about the bar right here.
All right. Well, so Kobe was the last alpha dog. What would your phrase be?
Taking it to another bar.
Okay.
Raising the bar, man. Come on.
Damn it.
Garrett?
Probably just like we got stools, so probably just the nice simple pose.
Classic portrait?
Looking off camera, laughing at something that we don't really have anything going on. It's a black curtain over there, actually.
So is this picture in black and white?
Yes, yeah,
Just-
it would be just
real old school.
real old school. Probably just black and white suit. Caption. I don't know. I don't think that highly of myself, so that's a lie, actually.
Not an alpha dog.
Okay, Tyler, you got
I think I would just have to go with a headshot, and it would say best hair in sports. So
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not sure about that.
Craig is going to get the
I
points for
cut
this
your
one.
hair, man.
He's
I
gonna
gave you
move
that.
on.
Okay, that explains a lot.
Craig had the best pose, and he's going to move on. So coming up on College Crossfire, Jason, our winner from the first panel, will come back to take on Craig.
Ooh.
Stay tuned, guys.
We're talking more sports? Confused.
Welcome back to College Crossfire. We have now narrowed down the competition to 2 panelists for tonight, Craig and Jason. So no need for score update. We're all tied up again. Let's get right into it. With David Ash still sidelined from a concussion he suffered during the BYU game and again re-aggravated in the first half of the Kansas State game, senior Case McCoy has taken the reins of the Texas offense and led the Horns to 3 straight wins. The discussion of whether or not Ash will return this season is all speculation at this point. But if Ash is able to return, is this now Case's team? And does he deserve to have the starting job the rest of the season?
I think I already made my feeling about this earlier. I made kind of my point about this. David Ash, obviously the more talented quarterback. I think the issue more when Texas was struggling early in the season was defense and allowing the quarterback to run for 9,000 yards or whatever it was. But I think absolutely this is David Ash's team, and if he is able to go, which is questionable, especially how Texas treats concussions and how they really monitor and make sure that the player is ready to come back. So if David Ash does have the opportunity to play, I think David Ash does step in. Case McCoy, I really don't think you can say he's been winning games. I mean, he's been making a few good plays, but it's hard for me to say that this is Case McCoy's teams.
Okay, so you're saying it's not Case McCoy's team. If Ash comes back, you think they'll let him shake off the rust even in big games if they're still undefeated in Big 12 play?
If I was coaching and I had the ability to start one quarterback, there's no way I could start Case McCoy over David Ash, just based on talent alone.
Okay, Jason?
Well, I mean, it's Case McCoy's team through default right now because, I mean, I think David Ash is the better quarterback. He gives you the better chance to actually win. But when...
So you should play Case.
What?
I'm just playing.
You play Case right now. It's not his team, but he's still going to have the ball because with David Ash, he's missed 3 or 4 games. There's a lot of rust there. I like what David Ash gives you offensively, but with the way Case is playing right now, the way the offense is responding to him, he's got a good running game. And again, the offense isn't asking them to do very much. It's not asking him to do very much. Threw for 190 yards and 2 touchdowns. So it's Case McCoy's team, whether we like it or not. Texas fans are indebted to 2 McCoys now. Whether they like it or not.
You got to live in those 2 seconds between you getting the ball and handing it to Booby.
That's exactly right.
All right, well, I think Jason's going to grab the point on this one. I think it has to be Case McCoy's team at this point. There's going to be too many big games coming up for Ash to, have a chance to shake off the rust and all that. So I think it's Case McCoy's team.
Fighting big games.
Jason getting the point. Moving on, through week 8 of the college football season, there are 13 teams that remain unbeaten and 8 teams with 1 loss in the AP Top 25. But there's still a lot of football left to be played this season. The first BCS poll comes out this Sunday. So guys, who's the best 1-loss team in college football right now? Jason.
I'm gonna go with LSU. Mainly because of their coordinators with Cam Cameron and John Chavis. I mean, Cam Cameron with Zach Mettenberger right now, he threw 12 touchdowns and 7 picks last year, and now he's got 15 touchdowns and 2 picks. His yards per attempt have gone up 3 full yards to 10 yards, which means he's throwing the ball down the field. He's got really good running backs as well as a young defense, but John Chavis is well known. He makes $1 million a year as a defensive coordinator for turning a young defense at the beginning of the year into a very stingy defense at the end of the year. So I think it's LSU, a tough loss in Athens. I don't think anybody's going to fault them for that.
No.
But they've got 2 games left against Alabama and A&M where they can really put their stamp in the SEC.
And you think they can win both those games?
I think they can definitely win both games. With A&M, they've got to outscore you. They don't have a defense. So I don't know what it is about Texas and A&M. Neither team has a defense right now, but A&M's got the best player, one of the best players in the country.
Okay, and
that game is also an
LSU pass game can keep up with that?
I think LSU's
certainly.
pass game can, and A&M is terrible against the run. And what does LSU have? They have a stable of running backs as well as a play-action game with Zach Mettenberger and Cam Cameron as the coordinator. I think that's a very tough combo to beat.
Okay, great.
It was tough. I also like LSU a lot, but I'm going to go with the team that's won 2 consecutive BCS games. I'm going to go with the Stanford Cardinal. I think they're a really experienced team. They have a really great coach. Their loss, obviously, hard to forgive going to Utah and losing that game, but I think Stanford's a very well-prepared team. They run the ball well. They have skill on the defense side of the ball. They have a lot of NFL prospects on both sides of the ball, especially on the line. So right now I think Stanford, playing in a very, very talented Pac-12, I think Stanford is the best 1-loss team right now in college football.
Okay, well, Craig's going to get the point, giving the Pac-12 some love right there, switching it up. So staying in football this time, the NFL, the NFC East has without a doubt been one of the weakest divisions in football through the first 6 weeks of the NFL season. The Eagles and Cowboys will settle a tie atop the division this weekend when they face off Sunday afternoon in Philly. The Redskins and Giants make up the bottom of the division with 1 combined win between the teams. But the Skins sit in 3rd place with just 2 games out of the division lead, while the winless G-Men are still only 3 games out. So, guys, what are your predictions for the NFC East this season, Greg?
Well, there has to be a winner. I think obviously the best team and the best unit in that division, I think, is the Cowboys offense. You saw what they could do against Denver. They don't have a problem scoring the ball. I think Tony Romo is a very undervalued quarterback. I think he's been performing at a high level for 3 years. Occasionally he'll have a lapse here and there. But usually the problems that the Cowboys have aren't on the offense side of the ball. And I think, with the Eagles, they're really not that consistent. Who's going to start when Vic comes back in. And the Redskins, they just weren't what they were last year. They're struggling on the defense side of the ball, can't get a stop. I think the Cowboys have the most talent, and they're playing in a very weak division. They've already won in the division. They've been strong in the division so far. So I'll go with Dallas.
Okay.
I don't think it's a question of offensive talent. I think it's a war of attrition on the defensive line. When you look at their starting four, you had Spencer, you had Ratliff, you had DeMarcus, and you had Hatcher. One of them's injured, one of them's been released, one of them's gone for the year, and one of them's limited. So I think Dallas, with players like Selby, they cannot keep winning with these no-name players on the defensive line. Dallas gives up 105 rushing yards a game, which is really, really good. It's really, really good. But Philly runs for 178, and I think Philly's run game is going to dominate this front four for Dallas. So I like Philly to come out of the NFC East. But like Craig said, 8-8 is going to win this division. 0-6 with the Giants.
Only 3 games out at 0-6.
Right. I mean, Robert Griffin III with his Operation This, Operation That on Twitter or whatever he's doing, the Redskins still have issues defensively. Dallas, tons of offensive talent. I question that D-line.
Okay, I think Craig's going to get the point on this one. I just think Dallas, too much talent on the offensive side of the ball. I think the Eagles just a little bit inconsistent right now. So Craig's going to get the point. 2-1 going into the rapid fire final round. So coming up next, we'll crown an overall TSTV Alumni Crossfire champion. Don't go anywhere. It's College Crossfire. Welcome into our final round of questions for the night. The score is Craig with 2, Jason with 1, but anything can happen. It's rapid fire, and everything is worth double the points. So guys, we'll start off in an ESPN the Magazine poll involving 26 NBA players. 23% of them believe that LeBron James will be considered the best player in NBA history when his career is over. So are you guys in that 23% that agree King James will one day be the best player in the history of the game?
I'm in the majority here. I'm in the 77% that does not think he will be the best player in the game. King James could be easily remembered for throwing away Game 6 with 2 costly turnovers in the last minute against the Spurs. It took 3 missed free throws. I mean, you should know this because you like the Spurs a lot. But it took a lot of missed free throws and a lot of good luck and a lot of good fortune for King James to even win that series. And, I mean, he got very fortunate with Ray Allen, made that corner three. So, I mean, it's hard to say LeBron might be at that caliber. I think he will be one of the top 3 or 4 players, but definitely not the top player when it comes to
Jason?
I would love to be contrarian here, but it's hard to disagree because, I mean, when you look at LeBron James and just this team financially, there's no way they can keep this team financially, which has helped get him to this amount of rings, right? I mean, with Michael Jordan and, 6 NBA rings, LeBron's not going to get there, mainly because you can't keep this team together financially. It does not make sense. So you're going to have to get rid of 1 or maybe even 2 stars and build around LeBron again in Miami, and then he's got a decision to make whether to go into free agency or stay with Miami. Is he a great player? Yes. Will he be remembered as one of the greatest? Yes. Maybe top 5 like Craig said, but he's not going to be the best in the game. That's MJ, and that will always be MJ.
They're one Dwayne Wade blowout.
We're going to go with just a follow-up question to this. So in a poll with the same players, those 26 players, 88% said that they would have MJ take the last shot. 12% said they would have Kobe take the last shot, and nobody said LeBron. So between MJ and Kobe, who would you guys take? I know you're a big Kobe.
I'm a huge Kobe fan, but you can't go against MJ in this scenario. I mean, he's a cool hand killer, man. I mean, that crossover on Russell, I mean, it's iconic still. That should be the logo, but it's definitely MJ. And Kobe doesn't have that many game winners in clutch situations, as much as that hurts to say.
This is coming from a Lakers guy whose Jerry West is the logo, so I have an issue with that first of all. But I'll go Kobe. I'll go Kobe. He makes some ridiculous shots, fading away, baseline, behind the backboard. I'll take Kobe because he's got that killer mentality. I'm not saying Michael Jordan doesn't have it, but when you think of alpha males, those are the two top alpha males I can think of in NBA history. I'll take Kobe.
Okay, well, Jason, going on a limb, making a bold statement, going to get the 2 points right there. So, guys, we're staying with MJ here. The Memphis Grizzlies owner, Robert Pera, made big news today when he challenged Michael Jordan to a game of one-on-one with $1 million at stake. So, guys, if you got a chance to play Jordan in a game of one-on-one, how much would you put on the game? And realistically, do you think you'd even have a chance to score 1 point on him?
Well, I was gonna say, if we were playing baseball, I might have a chance because MJ's swing was pretty poor.
Nice.
I would probably try to take the shorts down. Punch him in the back of the knee, maybe in the armpit when I'm shooting.
Prison ball?
Just anything. Anything to give myself an advantage. But no, I wouldn't score a point. I would hurt myself within the first two seconds.
Okay.
Honestly, I'd start chucking from 3. I would just start chucking and chucking and chucking and hope to hit one. Maybe I would get one, I don't know, but maybe just go longest yard style Michael Irvin on Adam Sandler and just hit him as many times as you can. Hopefully he doesn't call a foul so I can score, that type of thing. But this is a ridiculous idea. I mean, the owner's not going to beat Michael Jordan. Now, what I would like to see, obviously, is like Michael Jordan against Larry Bird, Michael Jordan against LeBron James, classic versus classic or classic versus current star.
Okay.
For playing on the Bobcats home floor, I score a point, though. I get 1 bucket.
No defense on that court.
Alrighty, so Craig's gonna get the point on this one. He's gonna go up by 1. Whoever gets this next one though will be the winner for the night. So our final question last week's show was a motivational speech that you would give the Longhorns before they take the field against OU. So it's only right that after the big win, we finish this show with your best Mac Brown post-game speech to the team. Anybody jump in first?
Guys, you played really well. I'm so proud of this team right now. But, we got to get better. Jeff, we really got to get better. I like what we're seeing on the defensive side. But Case McCoy played really well. Offensive line played really well. Everybody played great. Let's go have a good time.
Okay.
We're playing hard out there. We're working. This is for all the high school coaches in Texas football. Playing quality football.
You a girl or something?
These kids, they really care. They come to Texas to play. They put in the work, Lisa. Put Lisa Salters, they put in the work and they just try hard. And these kids, they deserved it. They've been playing for 4 years against the Sooners. Couldn't get a win. Couldn't buy a win. But now we got this win. And Case McCoy, he's just one player, isn't he? He never gives up. Exceptional football player. And we're just on a roll right now. And all you guys, you can suck it, because I'm Mac Brown.
I love Case McCoy.
And you got to show the fingers and just the hands. Be really nice. Have the well-coiffed gray hair.
So Jason, you said in your speech that you're gonna go. I mean, it seemed like you said you're gonna go party with the boys. I mean, where does Mac party with the boys after the game?
I would guess some secluded house in Westlake.
Bill Miller's barbecue.
Right. I mean, where there's no eyes. You don't want to get in too much trouble because obviously these guys can't be seen on 6th Street.
What are they doing, Jason?
I don't know. You never.
It's gonna be a party at my ranch. There's a tire swing. There's a lot of things we can do out there.
We got closed
golf
doors,
range.
Secluded area, ranch, tire swing, swimming pool. Things get
There's
weird.
a mechanical bowling. There's a strip club just down the road. Gonna bring some girls. Woo!
Shag carpeting.
Shag carpeting. It's gonna be a grand old time. We're gonna have some Texas sweet tea out there.
Oof.
Everybody's invited. Got a big old ranch, about $5 million about to spend on this party because they're gonna pay me $5 million next year too.
LeBron. I'm all about the sweet tea. So if you just bring some sweet tea, let's go.
Okay.
Let's saddle up and go.
So
Sweet tea and Jason's on board.
we still got a little bit of time. I'm having a really hard time deciding right here. Anybody got a Case McCoy or a player impersonation here? Anything off the top of your head?
I mean,
I don't want your life. Case McCoy about his brother. I don't want your life. He doesn't want to. He don't want to be in his brother's shadow. He wants to be his own man. Every brother that follows, every young brother that follows their older brother, they want to be their own guy. I don't know why he would go to Texas if you want to be your own man, but that's why A&M left the Big 12 because they could be out of the shadow of Texas. That's what brothers try to do. They try to get outside of the shadow of their bigger brother.
Okay, that's a really good argument right there.
You gotta look.
So far, Jason's got it, but you got anything
gotta
to
look
rebuttal,
at the
Craig?
camera. You gotta be. I'm gonna be remembered for this game for the rest of my Texas career. You know, I really have to perform on this stage. I haven't beat Texas in 3 years.
Beat Texas?
I beat Oklahoma. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Craig,
do
you said beat Texas right there. It was really close.
Okay.
I think Jason's gonna take it. He's gonna get the win. Jason, we got time. We got time for your FaceTime here. What do you got for us?
I've got a real issue with what the Houston Texans fans did to Matt Schaub. I mean, this is why you need to be very careful when you call yourself a fan, because fans are fanatics. Fans are unreasonable. Fans are stupid. And fans have this idea that their team, because they go to the game, because they buy tickets and merchandise, that team owes them something. No, they don't. That team does not owe you anything, and those players do not really care if you're there or not. They are there to provide for their families, to win games, and to play for their other players.
You're welcome, Mexico.
Oh
yeah,
there.
Football.
You're
There you go.
welcome,
All right,
Mexico.
folks, well, that's all the time we have for tonight. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of College Crossfire. You can catch us right here every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. And for all the latest in UT sports, tune into College Press Box every Monday night at 9:30. Special thanks to all of our alumni for stopping by tonight. Really good time for everyone in the studio. Master Control and myself, good night. We're back. It's College Crossfire.